Hello, welcome back. I'm Mark, former Royal Marine 12 years from 2005 to 2017. I've got my whiskey and coke. Last episode, if you want to call it that, I was talking about finishing training, turning up to 4-5 commando. So most of the time after training, most new Marines will go onto a commando unit, being 40, 42 or 45, or what we used to call FPG, which is now 4-3 again, so it's been renamed 4-3 Commando. Some people do go straight onto training courses. In fact, no, that's what used to happen when I finished training. Then there was a phase of pretty much everyone passing out of training going to Leconfield, Defence School of Transport. Don't know if that's still being done, but yeah, you'll go on to your commando unit. You're supposed to do a year or two at your commando unit, and then usually you'll be what we call pinged. So pinged being voluntold, if you like, but you can. Hold on, something's annoying me. I really do need to put that up. Anyway, yeah, so you get pinged for a course. So the course could be anything. Could have been chefs, signals, clerk, driver. Well, probably the unpopular ones, ones that you probably wouldn't get pinged for, like sniper. Don't think you'd really get pinged for VM, so vehicle mechanic. So myself, because I joined training, it took me 2 years to get through training through injury and whatnot. I had quite an old service number, so I had a service number that's like 2 years old by this point. So I got pinged for signals for the S3 course. So basically, just before I went on Christmas leave. So when we just got on Christmas leave, end of 2007, logged into what was called JPA. I don't know if it's still in use, but basically joint personal administration. I think it meant. So it's where you'd like put in leave requests and all that type of stuff. Logged into there, and it said that I was to attend a signals course at Lympstone, starting in like January or February or something like that. I can't remember. So I didn't end up going to Norway. So basically went on Christmas leave. X-ray. Well, the unit went to Norway, and I was like on rear party with base company. Not for very long, for a week or two, and then I went down to Lympstone to start my S3's course. So the S3's course is basically it was like the entry level signals. And I think it was about, how long was it? I think it was about 12 weeks. Yeah, I think about 12 weeks. It was pretty long. The reason for that is you got to think most, if not all, of the people on it have probably not really done much with a radio. I mean, we would have used them in training, but we wouldn't have set them up and all this. And and obviously, it was a big course, probably like, I can't remember how many on it. Probably maybe between 20 and 30 Marines on it. Have all got to be tested at various stages, and it just takes a long time. We did all sorts of things. So we did practical stuff with radios, as you might imagine. So when I was doing mine, I was using the Bowman radios. We got a bad rap, to be fair. Weren't very popular, but I think a lot of that's just to do with operator error. I never really had that many issues with them, to be honest. We do get knocked about. Yeah, so you do like practical stuff. We even had to do like assessments with generators. So, like if you're vehicle borne, so if you got what we call an FFR, so fit for radio, BV 206 or a Land Rover, you're probably gonna have a generator with you as well, because you don't want to be running the engine the whole time. And then we also did theory, like antenna theory, so learning about frequency and amplitude, radio waves, polarization, different frequency bands, like pretty much VHF and HF, so very high frequency versus high frequency. High frequency being the lower end. It's from, I think, 1 megahertz to about 30 megahertz. I think it's close. It's between 3 and 30 megahertz, and VHF is like 30, be like 31 to maybe like 83. I was way off. VHF is 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. Maybe it was the Bowmans we only used to go up to like 87, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can't remember. Yeah, so there was quite a wide range of stuff to learn. We used to learn about a thing called combat, not combat as in going around shooting stuff. Combat was like I guess you could call it like a battlefield management system, if you like. So it was basically like, it was like a laptop. It was like army green, just because, like a Windows XP laptop. You basically, through like a load of different devices, you hooked it up to your radios, and you could put GPSs on certain things, and you could see where people were on a map and that type of stuff. You could send emails with it. Wasn't very good in my opinion. That was one thing that it was very temperamental, and for most people quite difficult to set up. Even following like the instructions, it was quite difficult to set up. So I wasn't a fan of combat. But yeah, so yeah, there was loads of things to do. So basically, that was my first return to Lympstone. Probably I'd only been out of training like, well, what would it be, like 6-7 months? I mean, I can't remember the exact start date of the course. So yeah, went back down to Lympstone for like a 12-week course or whatever it was. The instructors were, we used to call him Cronksy. So he was a sergeant, but he was the chief instructor. So there was someone above him. I can't remember their rank though, like or even the name. I don't think they were part of the training. So we had like Cronksy, who was like the chief instructor of our course. Corporal Smith, who I actually knew from recruit training, and there was another guy, and I can't remember his bloody name now. But no, they were alright. I quite liked them. Basically, Cronksy, we're all sat down, like course introduction, and Cronksy said, said something along the lines of, I know most of you haven't volunteered for this, but if you're thinking about failing the course, so you can just go back to your unit, think again, because if you fail it, we'll just make you do the course again. If you fail it again, we'll just keep making you do the course until you pass it. So basically, what he was getting at is, because like me, I'd been pinged for the S3's course. I didn't volunteer for it. I was told I was doing it. Some people, I wasn't that bothered. I went in with an open mind. After speaking to my Sergeant Major Jim Curran, he put my mind at ease, and I thought, all right, yeah, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a chance. But some people were really unhappy about it, saying I'm going to fail the course. Blah blah blah. He was saying if you just fail the course on purpose, and we think you've done it on purpose, then you just do it again and keep doing it again until you pass it. Yeah, so you start off learning like all your antenna theory and all this type of stuff, and to be honest, it was a little bit boring, but something that you need to know. Learn about different antennas, so vertically polarized versus horizontally polarized. So vertical being this way, horizontal being that way, like the way you lay in bed. They're used for using different scenarios with different radios, different frequencies. You learn how to like service, maybe not service, but sort of just make basic maintenance of a generator. You have to do like a test where you have to start it up, and you can fail the test, but it's just it's a bit stupid really. I think if you can't, I think it's like if you can't start it within 3 like pulls, you fail. And then you get into the practical stuff, and then there were some exercises. I don't remember how many exercises, but one thing I do remember is the exercises were hard. They were the hardest exercises I'd done since recruit training, because you've obviously got your field kit, you got your rations, your water, a rifle. I don't remember carrying any ammunition on it, to be fair, which would have made it worse. no need for it to be carrying ammunition on the signal class freeze course, or at least the way we ran it then, we wasn't. I've been told that the S freeze course has changed now, but I don't know what we do now, so I can't really say. But yeah, so you carry all your normal field kit, and then you've got the radios, the batteries, what we call the ancillaries, so antennas, handsets, headsets, carrying 5.4 meter masts. So it's basically like a mast that you can just put together and put up in the air. Carrying different antennas, so you carrying a HF set and a VHF set in the set, and you've got in your deck. Sorry, you got all different. You got all your equipment. So yeah, what made it hard was the yomping. I remember one of them we yomped from Lympstone to Mutters Moor. There was just a lot of yomping, and the funny thing is, after the course, they asked you to do like an evaluation, like, so that if everyone on the course is saying that, they say to you, don't just say it was shit. If it was shit, tell us why it was shit, and what can we do to make it better. And what a lot of people were saying is that they will fit as a fiddle after the course, but we didn't know that much about radios, because the exercises were like 5 days of just yomping around, setting up a signals deck, them coming out to inspect it, and if you've done a bit of a shit job, bear in mind you're doing a lot of it in the dark, then they're moving you on, and you're just jumping again somewhere else, setting up, and they're coming out to inspect. Alright, you've done right, we leave you there for a little bit longer, they move someone else. So a lot of people, I remember saying, like, I feel really fit, but I don't feel confident on the radio at all. I think this was a recurring theme, because I felt the same when I got back to my unit and I be part of my signals deck. I wasn't that confident on the radio, and my deck commander Steve Lacey had to retake me through the basics because I didn't know what to do. But I could yomp really far with the radio kit, so that's all that matters, eh? Everything we did on the signal freeze course was what we call man pack, so you just carry everything, because most people didn't have licenses and right qualifications for the Land Rovers, which changes when you go onto the S2's course, which is the signal class 2s, which is what you tend to do if you're quite a senior. You're looking at moving into like a deck commander's role, so a corporal, or maybe you're a senior marine going for promotion, so you can do the S2's course and then a junior commander course. So yeah, the signaller freeze course, 12 weeks of doing a lot of yomping. Supposedly you learn about radios, but most people, from what I remember, not feeling that confident about the radio after it. Like I said, apparently the course has changed and it is now a lot better, which is good to hear. It only took a few years for that to change. So what happens then? So after the S freeze course, I then returned back to Arbroath, and I rejoined X-Ray Company as part of X-Ray Company Signals Debt, so Signals Detachment. So there was me, Steve Lacey, the deck commander. Bob Ains was probably like the 2IC of the debt, so second in command. A bloke called Mario Galladini, who's from Edinburgh. He's got blonde hair and blue eyes, believe it or not, with that name. And then myself. And one thing I do remember is Mario saying that there was a lot of, because I'd never even met anyone from Signals Troop really whilst I was in at 4-5 Commando before. I remember him saying there was a lot of pissed off blokes in Signals Troop because they were waiting for a company debt, and I basically just bypassed them all and gone straight into one. But I think that was because of the Sergeant Major Jim Curran felt it was a bit unfair that I'd been pinged for signals so quickly out of training. So I think it was down to him for the most part. I never asked him actually. I've still got his number. I would ask him, but I doubt I remember now. I mean, not because he's old. He's probably got a lot on. Pretty much from that point onwards is when we started preparing for Op Herrick 9. So Op Herrick 9 being Op Herrick being Helmand, Afghanistan. So from that point, I didn't really have much to do with Signals Troop. I didn't even know who my regimental signals officer was. So I remember Mario saying that he'd walk past. I remember walking down what we call the main drag at Condor being 4-5 Commandos base, and just saluting some officer, and Mario saying it was the RSO, and I didn't have a clue. I'd never even met him, So yeah, so I was kept away. Went back to X-Ray Company, Signals Debt, started training for Operation Herrick 9, which I guess can come on to in the next episode. So it's just a short one today, well, shortish. So hope you enjoyed, and like, subscribe, leave a comment. Did any of you do signals course, or any course that you didn't really actually want to do? Let me know. Cheers.